Come on in here. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in here, family. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Peace and light. Peace and light. Peace and light. Come on in. Come on in. I'm giving y'all some time to get in here. You are watching Magic Up TV. I am your host, the Alchemist. Here's where we talk about love, we talk about law, we talk about all things. There's nothing off the table, you understand? Here's where we say, life is easy. We make it hard. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in. Do I. We are talking about vows. We are talking about vows today. Yeah, like that vibe? I've been vibing all day, man. Yeah. Vows. The magic of vows. It's an amazing month. We're in springtime. And the earth is made a vow to itself. The seasons are a vow. How do we know? We know we can depend on the summer being hot. It has promised us that. Now it might change from time to time throughout the summer. But if you move to a warm climate place where it's normally, you know what I'm saying, hot in the summertime, you're expecting it to be hot in the summertime. It made that promise to you. Let's go, man. I got some real shit to talk about today. Come on. What is a vow? What is a vow? A vow is a solemn promise to do a specific thing. Peace and light, peace and light. Come on in here. Y'all know what to do when you get here. Hit the love button, hit the share button. Ain't nothing changed. Come on, what's up? Let somebody know the Alchemist is in the building. What is a vow? To dedicate to someone or something, especially a deity. Especially a deity. You understand? Now, I wrote my commentary, so I want y'all to bear with me. You know how I do. You can only take a vow based upon the understanding of such responsibilities. You ever go to court and they ask you, they say, did anybody persuade you into any of this? Did anybody, promise you anything, blah, 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 right? Because this oath that you're about to take, if it's been persuaded, there's going to be some difficulty in it, right? But what happens when your responsibilities supersedes your vow? What happens? What do you mean, Seven? What happens when you've made a vow to this person that you're going to spend your life with, right? And you all have children. And now, because of their irresponsibility, because of their self-hate, because of their self-destruction, because of their self-pity, you understand? Because they don't know how to play the adult game of get your shit together, they start making extreme bad decisions, or they start, they start creating havoc in the home, right? Like actual havoc, like physical abuse. You understand? Now that vow, now that you made that vow, right? But now you've got these little children looking up at you, being molested, being all sorts of things going on. Cigarette butts being put out on, whatever. Y'all heard the stories. Some of you've lived the life. So what happens to that vow that you once took and made this promise of forever? What happens when your responsibilities of now supersedes that vow? People will try and hold you to the only vow they knew you to take, not knowing your new elevated place of understanding and purpose. You understand? You getting abused, you being mistreated, or Things are going in a completely different route than planned. Let's say that you was once a part of a religion, right? You were once a Christian, or you were once whatever, right? And now your spirit is being elevated or being taken to a different place. Now you're moving outside of the reins of that religion. And everybody who's been worshiping with you, everybody who know you as this, everybody who's seen you as that, they all start holding on to the vow they knew of you. They don't want to see you moving forward. They don't want to see you moving in a different way. And it may come from a place of care. A lot of times it comes from a place of misunderstanding. A lot of times it comes from a place of jealousy. Right? But what happens? The best vow to take is that of universal obedience or holy obedience. For not only does it lead to perfect freedom, but it is a training in that surrender is the last task. What does that mean? A universal law. If you are of the universe, you are the most high of your own being, right? And the universe is trying to get you to a certain place. But you have been taking vows all through life. You've been taking vows with this. You took a vow at work. You took a vow at this. You took a vow. Your life is full of all these vows, all these promises that you've made based upon the understanding in which you were in at the time of the promise. Now that you've reached an elevated place, or now that you've reached a different place, or now that a place is starting to identify itself for you to move forward within, only if you have taken the vow of a universal vow can you really be comfortable, and I'm going to get to that comfort in a minute, but only then are you comfortable or able to continue that movement. If not, then you get stuck in everything else that you've made promises with. You are never able to grow past that promise. Do you understand? What good is a vow to the body that it will be purified if the body knows not such vow? What good is it to promise something, right? A lot of us promise ourselves to things that have no idea that we've promised ourselves to those things. You understand? What do I mean by that? All right. I had a guy, I met a guy, right, who decided he was going to quit smoking. He said, you know what? I'm going to quit smoking cold turkey. Bow. Right? Now, he had been smoking for years. Been smoking for years. He said, I'm going to quit smoking today. Bow. A few days later, he's struggling. I mean, he's struggling so bad that it's interrupting his spirit, it's interrupting his day, he's having withdrawals, he's going through it, right? And he says, you know, I tried to kick the bucket, you know what I'm saying? Like I tried to stop smoking cold turkey, you know, I'm going through the fits, this, that, and the third. Now, nobody told you to make that vow. No one's held to that vow but you. The cigarette has no responsibility to any exchange that you've made. Some of us, though you may need to stop smoking, true indeed, you're the only one that promised yourself that you would do it cold turkey. So now, instead of taking it step by step, day by day, you've made this vow to yourself that you can't even keep. Or you can't keep in good spirit. You understand? And we do these things because we feel like that's what should be done in the moment. Or we do these things because we're trying to be good people. Or we do these things because we're trying to get to a certain place and we think that that's what we have to do. But the universal vow, it stretches us past comfort. It stretches us past all of those things that we could possibly understand, because it requires one thing. It requires surrender. It requires complete surrender. And what does that mean? That means that I have surrendered to the vow of universal law so that I am able to expand past my circumstances. So what does that mean? That means that when I'm in a situation that I feel like, even if I said, okay, I'll be there Friday at 9 o'clock. And then Spirit say, nah, you're not going to be there at 5 o'clock. You're not going Friday. Hey, guess what? Not going to be able to make it. Not going to be able to make it. I'm sorry. Some of us will get that vision. We see what's ahead of us. We see we should not be on that path, and we'll still go anyway. Because why? I promised that I would. And now your life is in shambles based upon this promise that had no value. Only the value that you put on it. Right? Or the body and mind, but not the will of the body. Is it not still unbalanced or incomplete? Eating a salad is easy. Eating nothing but a salad is difficult. You got some people who have made this vow to be vegan, right? They made this vow. I'm going to be vegan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done learned. I ain't supposed to be. I done watched the Netflix shit. I see the animals in the slaughterhouse. I ain't with it no more. I'm about to be vegan. I'm just going to eat salad. I'm going to eat nothing but the nutrients of the earth. I'm going to eat salad. No dairy, no this, no that. And then every day, you going through hell in your life. You go to the grocery store and it's agony. I get so tired of reading the labels. You go to a friend's house. What's in that? What's in that? Oh, yeah, no, it's dairy. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, okay, do you have any bowl of sand? I'll take a bowl of sand, please, thank you. I'll take a bowl of sand, please, thank you. But you made that vow. And the point of this video is this. Even though we've made these vows, you understand? Once we come to an elevated mindset that this vow may not serve me in this moment, as long as you have become a part of your universal alignment, you get to make the decision in that moment. Once the will has already raised itself to the height of destiny, the man or woman is no more likely to do wrong than he or she is to float off into the air. What does that mean? You ever seen a mother who has children and they have no money, and she goes into the grocery store and she takes some shit? If she's not caught, she's not wrong. Why? Because she's obeying her universal law, which is to feed her children. And I'm not saying that it's right to go steal shit. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in that moment, the decision that mother made has no bearing of morality. And oftentimes that's all we're doing. We're basing every idea, every move we make, we're basing all of these things that we're doing off of morality. And it's getting us nowhere. Because it's not morality that makes us good. And there is, when you start dealing with spirit, you start dealing with elemental science, when you start dealing with celestial behavior or celestial entities, when you start dealing with deities, all of these things, you cannot, I don't want to say you cannot. It's not serving to think in a good or bad instance. Especially as it relates to magic. It's not about good or bad. It's about the purpose of the posture. It's about what's being done. What needs to get done at this time and how can we make that happen? Because while you're battling over morality, everything around you is being taken. They wrote you a law that said, thou shalt not steal. While they stole all the land, you understand? They stole all the food, all the culture, all the women, but thou shalt not steal. So while you're dealing with the morality of your religion, while you're dealing, because that's really where the basis of morality comes from, religion. So when you're dealing with the morality of your religion, when you're dealing with the morality of the way you were brought up, when you're dealing with the ways of that, and then you come into a situation where you really got to put it down. You really got to make this decision. And this shit got to get done. You got to get around that wall or over it. You got to get through that door. You understand? One may then ask, is there conflict between will and ethics? And the answer is yes. There is conflict between will and ethics. There absolutely is. And the reason why is because will is not of the planet. Will is not of the earth. Ethics is. You understand? As a woman, if you live in America and you're out here doing this, you can drive, you can do these things and all this. You go to another country and that's not the case. And they're battling between rights and what's right and what's wrong and what's ethical and what's not. Ethics come from man. Will comes from the Creator. Will comes from the universe. Will comes from purpose. How so? How do we know that we're going to have to fight against ourselves sometimes to be better? How do you know? You ever tried to chisel your body? You ever tried to get in a yoga pose? Your body don't want that shit. You go to the gym and you sit down and you sitting up under that bench, you like, I don't even know why I came to this motherfucker today. You know what? Okay, you know, I made a vow to myself, right? I made a vow to myself that I was going to get this body together, right? And then you start pushing and your body's like, oh, nah, I don't think we're going to do this today. And then you're like, no, we going to do this. No, we not. Yes, we are. No, we not. Yes, we are. Oh, ooh, oh. I'm going to do another one. No, you ain't. Yes, I am. No, you ain't. Yes, I am. Ooh. I'm going to do another one. Yes, I am. No, you ain't. Yes, I am. No, I ain't. No, I ain't. No, I ain't. But I'm going to get it tomorrow, though. This is life. This is life. This is what we deal with in a very elementary perspective of everything we do. I'm going to tell I love her. No, I am going to tell I love her. No, I am going to tell I love her. No, I am going to tell no, I ain't going to tell I love her. I'm going to just buy some flowers and sit the shit on the counter and go in my room and just play my PlayStation. However, there is this old archaic principle or saying, if I could. And it says, if you are going to take the law, then you must take the full law. You can't take part of the law. You got to take the full thing. If you make a vow, then you got to live the vow out until that vow has been released. You understand? Like, what I'm not saying is this. I'm not saying that it's cool to make a promise and then just break it. Just, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that and then break it. Yeah, I'm gonna be this and then break it. I'm going to do this and then break it. No. When I said that I would become, or when I said that I would put myself out there, you understand? I went full throttle. Why? Because the more we put into the vow, the more we give into the energy, the more we become that thing, or the more we serve that thing, or whatever it is. You said you was going to make breakfast every morning? Then you should be in that motherfucker making breakfast every fucking morning. And you should be whistling in that bitch over the pot. You understand? If you said you was going to pay them bills, then take pride in paying them bills. You told her, you know what I'm saying, that you got it. then don't be in this motherfucker complaining every day. Yo, man, you know what I'm saying, man? I gotta get up, I gotta go to work, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You sit at home all day, you know what I'm saying? Every day, y'all having the same conversation. Every day. But you took the vow. Now, if it becomes that much of a distress, you understand? Because your vow should not bring agony. It may bring complication. It may bring frustration from time to time because it's a renewing of things. It's a transition. It's a transformation. But it shouldn't be an agonizing. It shouldn't be agony. You understand? If you promised yourself you was going to go lose that weight, you the one said you was going to chisel that body, every day you in the gym, if this is you, can't stand working now. Number one, you might as well just stop. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody around you is now miserable. You understand? Number two, you're pumping that negative energy. Though you might be pumping that iron, you're pumping that negative energy also through your entire body. You ever go to somebody, you go to a place, a sit-down restaurant and shit? I know you ain't been in a few weeks. But you ever been to a sit-down restaurant and the waiter come or the waitress come and they like, can I take your order? And you're like, hold up, bro. Wait a minute. Wait. Ain't nobody make you take this job. You took this job. You made the vow that you would come here and serve these people. Why do I have to feel bad about the vow that you took? You ever seen somebody go on a fast and want everybody to know about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. Oh, God, I wish I could eat that fry. Oh, I'm so hungry. Now you're the person like, well, why don't you just eat? Oh, I wish I could, but you know, I'm fasting. You know what I'm saying? You knew you was fasting. Why you gotta make me feel bad about me eating this bullshit I'm eating? You know what I'm saying? Just because you can't eat it. Go somewhere with that shit. You're like, come on. We have to be more responsible. And then a lot of it comes from harboring your truth. You know what I mean? You knew you liked sluts. You knew you liked them. You knew you liked sluts. And you went and you made a vow for life with this prude, super analytical. You did that. You did that. Now every weekend you out at a bar trying to pick up some shit. You know what I'm saying? You trying to, you know what I mean? Well, not now, but because that's why you're mad. But that's what we got. A lot of people right now in the house dealing with somebody that they really don't want to deal with because they didn't really spend time to figure it out before the vow. We rushing into these vows. And a lot of times we make vows of omission. You know what I'm saying? What you mean, Seven? Meaning that once you start doing something a particular way, right? And now it starts providing certain results. And now you have gotten into the habit. We call it a habit. It's a vow. Why? Because now you're promising your body. Because of the reward, right? You keep doing this thing. You keep doing it. And you know that the reward is that. But you don't necessarily want to go through what you're going through to get to the reward. But you keep doing it. You still made a vow. Until you stop. Because we spirit beings. It starts in the mind first. Some of these vows are promise in exchange. Some of them don't. Some of these vows are specifically for you. You understand? And even though they are, every vow offers an exchange, but some vows involve other people. Vows that don't involve other people that still offer exchange, working out, yoga, meditation, you understand? Those are vows. You can make a vow to meditate once a day, right? But what happens if you make that vow and then every day you're in your meditation, but you're just eating Cheetos and watching Netflix? That's not meditation. That's not what you vowed to, right? Or you just do 30 seconds. You sit down in Indian style, you be like, and then you get back up. And you ain't even sat down long enough. Your mind hadn't even got a chance to stop spinning. Then you got up, and then you're wondering why you're not walking around with these results that's promised to you based upon the surrender of disobedience. You're just going through the motions. You can't get the promise in fullness of the vow if you don't take the vow seriously, if you're not putting forth the effort to really do what you say. Some of us experience depression because we've made a vow and now we can't keep it. And it makes us feel a certain way. You understand? It's like, I told her that, she didn't have to work. I promised her that I would be the one bringing in the bread. And now I've been laid off. Now I don't have the wherewithal to do it. And I haven't exposed to her my inability to keep this shit up. Now my soul is tarnished because I can't keep it up. But I told her she wouldn't have to work. So now what do? I told him that I would make breakfast and lunch every day. And this shit is killing me. It's killing my soul. I can't get nothing done. Blase, blase, blah. But I promised him that I would do it. What do? You sit their asses down. And you look them in the eyes. And you start off with this. I know I promised you that I would. Right? I know I promised you that I would. But I can't. I, honest to God, I don't have it in me anymore. Or this particular thing happened. Or that particular thing happened. And I need to revise this vow. And I wanted to know if you could accept my inability as my apology, if you could accept my apology for my inability or whatever the case may be. But you got to take responsibility. Even if you can't do it, you still got to take responsibility. Even in ending the vow. Just because you got to end the vow doesn't mean, it was bullshit. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have made the vow. It doesn't mean that, it just means that some things have changed. And I need to make you aware. But when you don't do it, you understand? And I'm coming in the kitchen, and now you just throwing the fucking plate. You're like, here's your eggs, motherfucker. Here's your oatmeal, motherfucker. You understand? He's just throwing it around. Here, take it. Well, now, the prophet of the promise is dead. You promised yourself you would go to the gym every day, but you get in there and you just sip on a smoothie. You might pick up a dumbbell. You walk around, look at some asses, both men and women. Meaning both men and women do this. You know what I'm saying? And then after a month, you're like, I don't see no results. You ain't did nothing. But I go to the gym every day. But you don't do nothing when you're in there. Some of y'all got libraries full of magic and spells and archaic science and all these things and ain't read not one page. Not one page. You got all these crystals around the house. You ain't saged and cleared not one of them. You ain't used one of them for the capacity that they. But you wondering why. Some of us got spouses and mates. It ain't nothing but just pure hell and drama. Why? If you're going to make the vow, go hard. You ever heard that saying, go hard or go home? Go hard or go home. And it's okay to go home. That's the reason why so many of us are broken. Scared to go home. Scared they're going to talk about you. Look at him. I told you he couldn't play. Look at him going home. He go home. He done had too much. Hey, little Rick. Look, little Rick go home. Next time, come out with your big boy pants on, bro. Some of y'all doing some stuff, and it's so difficult, so hard, because you wasn't told to do it. You wasn't called to do it. You know what I'm saying? But you just, every day, just in there, just, and it ain't working. But you don't want your family to think you done walked away from it. You don't want your people to think you done left it alone. I remember how hard it was to leave Christianity. I remember. I was on the phone. Sister on the phone, like, sounds like to me, you done made your mind up to leave the church. I said, well, because I was doing a lot of talking. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a lot of talking. She said, sound like to me, you done made up your mind to leave the church. What about the promise of heaven? You just gonna walk away from the promise of heaven? What about your vow to the Lord? What about your baptism? You understand? And I was just like, I get it. I get what you're saying. But my path is calling me in a different way. I'm being called on a different road. I'm getting off on another exit. You can stay on here if you want to. I won't judge you, I promise. But as for me, I got another vow to make. I made peace with that vow of Christianity. I made peace with it. That's why you don't see me bashing nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people in this conscious community are angry because they made vows to things that they found out was not what they thought it was, and now they feel tricked or mad because it ain't what it is. I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad at all, because again, you got to take responsibility. I did that. Even if I was brought into it as a child, as an adult, I stayed, so I was responsible for those things. And when you're able to walk away from a vow in peace, you're like, man, that felt great. I can move forward. But when you're not able to move forward in peace, then you got all this baggage just lugging behind you. You got all this stuff you haven't forgiven. All these people, you know what I'm saying, that you feel are responsible for your indiscretions and the way that you are in life right now. And you just dragging it along, just I remember, and we can make some dumb ass vows. I remember when I was 19 years old, the money was flowing like water. I'm talking, this is about 17 years old, right? This is before military. So money was just raining. I was getting so much money, just raining. Thousands. One day I said to God, God, I make so much money. I'm getting so much money. that I'm going to just give it away. I'm going to just give it away. I'm going to find shit to do and I'm going to just give it to people. I'm going to give it away. I'm going to bless people. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for this and I'm going to do this for that person. I'm going to do this for that person. I'm going to do this for that person. Do this for that person. Right? You ever said that? You done came into some money and you're like, ooh, now I can do this for all these people. Right? People knew I had it. And then here come the phone calls. As soon as you make the vow, right, you get tested. Like, as soon as I said it, I was like, I'm getting it somewhere. I give it away. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Hey, yo, Sal, bro, you think you can, let me get like $100? You think I can borrow 100? Man, you ain't got to borrow 100, bro. Just come by, man. I got it for you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you think I can get 500? Hey, you think I can get 1,000? It kept going up. You think I can get 2,500? You think I can get 15? It kept going up, kept going up. One day, I looked around. There was a notice of vacate on my door. There's a notice of vacate on the door. Landlord put it there. You ever got one of those? I hope not. But for those of you who know what that feels like, let me take you through the journey. So I get the notice of vacate on the door. And I go to my bank account. And I logged into my bank account and that shit said, please log in to next bank account. Maybe you'll have better luck. I was like, oh, okay. So then I logged in to my other bank account. And that other bank account said, aha, gotcha. You know what I'm saying? And I had a moment. I went for a walk. I stared up in the sky. I was like, yo, how the fuck am I so broke right now? I don't understand. How am I so broke right now? How do I not have any money? And I heard this little voice in my ear. And the little voice said, you remember the time you told me that you was gonna just give all your money away because you was making so much of it? Ha ha ha! Some of us do that with our time. Some of us do it with our love. Some of us do it with our talent. We're just giving it away. Just giving it away. With no promise of exchange. Just giving it away. Just giving it away. Because we've made a vow to be this good person. You made a vow to be a healer. And you're just giving away your talent. You're just giving it away, giving it away, giving it away. Why? Because you felt some sort of way because you had a vow in the church and the minister was making money and it made you feel some sort of way about the minister making some money. Now you feel like you can't charge nobody because now you something like the minister. You got to feel good about the vows you take. You can't just, even if it hurts, you know understand? Like I made a vow. Y'all watch me make a vow. Y'all watch me make a vow. I said, well, giving up the place. I'm not working my design business. I'm not doing no music. I'm not doing any movies. I'm not doing none of this stuff until I build this insurance company. And it was hard. It was hard. You understand? Days and nights of just hardship. But not here. You understand? I made that vow. I had to suffer through it. I had to flex through it. I had to become what that vow pulled me in to be. And then once that season was over, I was able to make a new vow. You understand? Some of us keep circling and circling and circling and circling and circling because you didn't master that vow. Some of us keep circling and circling and circling and circling and circling because you have not mastered the vow. Or you won't go home. You understand? I made a vow I was going to become a photographer. And I did. I was going all over the place doing shoots. If somebody wanted me to shoot, I could still shoot. I still shoot from time to time. But I had to have a conversation with myself. I said, Seven, you're doing too much. Now you're doing too much. You understand? Now you're doing too much. So I sat down with myself. I said, I give you permission to not market yourself as a photographer anymore. You can take photography jobs. We could do that. If you want a nice shoot, I could do that. But I'm around too many photographers. I got too much other stuff going on that I felt like was more important to the client base that I serve and the community that I serve. There's that universal vow. You understand? So what have you made a vow to lately? You can tell me. Peace Queen, I see you. Peace Queen, Peace King, I see you. I see y'all on here. What have you made a vow to recently? Go ahead. Tell me about it. I made a vow to absolutely push the most insane limits of my abilities, which is what motivated me to get the wand made. You understand? This is my Alchemist wand. You understand? And I said, Seven, it's kind of like, you know, if you say, you know, you got a print shop, right? Let's say you got a print shop. And you got a small desktop printer, laser printer, you know. And it was doing well for where you were in business. And now, you're wanting to do more. You're like, I want to take on more jobs. I want to make more money. I want to do bigger projects. So then what? You go get a bigger machine. The machine isn't going to do anything that you can't do. You understand? If you can't design and you print it through the machine isn't going to miraculously change your design work. You understand? It's some beautiful shit and put it out on the other end of the printer. That's what's not going to happen, just so you know. But what the machine does do is it amplifies your ability. It quantifies it. It allows you to quantify now in a much maximum perspective your output. So when I made a promise to myself, and especially in this time right now, if there's anything that I could do to minimize what we're going through, even if it was by a fraction, then it is my responsibility, because I made that vow to the universe. I made that vow to my higher self. You understand? So I went and I got a machine. If I can already produce this magic, then what if I got a piece of machinery that could amplify the magic? Do I not owe it to myself to continue growing? Do I not owe it to my people? Do I not owe it to my audience? Do I not owe it to what's happening right now? I absolutely do. And even if it hurts for a little while, getting used to it, flexing with it, practicing with it, even if it takes me days and hours, only maximum results can come from it. because my vow and my purpose are so grand and are in such alignment, you understand, that there's a universal law of correspondence. And that universal law states that you reap what you sow. You understand? Kobe Bryant was as great as he was because he made a vow to greatness. And that vow of greatness put him in the gym in hours when nobody else was. You understand? Greatness is waiting for your surrender. Ooh. Think that might be a shirt? Think that might be a shirt? Greatness is waiting for your surrender. You got to get out of the way. Now that you have time to do it, let's work on that. So what I want y'all to do is I want you to write down the last few vows you remember making. The last few oaths you remember swearing. Write them down. Go through them. Analyze them. And if any of those oaths need to be modified, then give yourself permission to modify it. I love y'all. What you plant is what grows. Absolutely. Peace, King. Thank you. So that's my spiel on today's Magic Up TV. I love y'all. Just wanted to give you something to think about. You understand? These some old school instrumentals for y'all who might not know. It's old school instrumentals. I don't own the rights to the music. But it's all good, man. I got a nice little vibe going on. What are you swearing to? What are you making an oath to? What are you planning to do once all this subsides? A lot of y'all made an oath that you was going to start your business. You was like, man, I'm going to work on my business. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on that. And you haven't started yet. Inbox me. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get this work. Some of y'all said y'all was going to take time to heal the mind. You was going to find a coach. Well, let's go. I just graduated an amazing young lady by the name of Courtney from my Alchemy Academics course. She's a bartender here in Atlanta. Saw me reading, preparing for a ritual, asked me what I did. I told her. Minutes later, she came around the bar, sat down, asked me a few questions, asked me how much I charged. I told her. She paid it in full, right then and there. She just finished her 4-week course. I asked her, I said, how do you feel? She said, Seven, I feel completely different. I've made an oath. You think sometimes when that 2 o'clock call comes, I'm not in a bad space, or I'm not in a space of frustration, or I'm trying to deal with some things that's going on in my day? Absolutely. That's why I tell my students to wash their hands before the phone call. That's why I get up and I clear myself before all phone calls. Because it's not about me. I got to stop. Stop, Seven. Put that aside. You made this vow. You made this oath. This is who you told these people you're going to be. This is who you have to be. Sometimes I just want to do nothing. I just want to just chill, just hang out. Well, in order to do that, create the space for it. You don't have to not be who you are. You got moms, you got executives, you got all these people who feel like their time is so consumed with the duties for other people because of their oath, because of their vow. But there's ways to even maintain that peace if your vow keeps you so at it. But you have to you have to vow to create that space. You know what? I'm going to give myself an hour at least every day. Every day. Right? I told myself, yes, I work from home, but I'm going to give myself breaks, and I'm going to take some long ones too, just like as if I worked on a job somewhere. I'm not going to be in here just all day. That's not fair to my spirit. You serving all these people, you doing all these things, but you forgot about self. That's not fair to you. You can't be everything to everybody. I'm sorry if I'm the first person to tell you that. But you can't. So make the vow to self first. And then whatever it is that you see that can put you in a better situation, if that's what you want to go for, then be willing to do what it takes to go for it. You understand? You decided to take on a guru, not a guru and told you, you know what I'm saying, that you can't eat no solid foods for a whole week, and now you like, you know what? He tripping, she tripping. Nah, I'm gonna eat me some pancakes this morning. I don't know what he talking about. You just broke your vow. It's better to have not had a guru at all than to not do what they ask you to do. I love y'all. I love y'all. As above, so below. May all things be balanced and in alignment with love and might, as I send love and might to you. Dua, dua, dua. The healing light, the crystal, you understand? I send healing light, peace, tranquility, understanding, great vibration. I love y'all. You've been watching Magic Up TV. Peace to man, woman, and child, things to walk the earth. Share the video.